Alpha, here's some descriptions. Alpha is supposed to be dominating and charismatic, the born leader, understands his priorities and always utilizing his time. That's the alpha.
Truth is, if you want to control a society, you need to control the men, because it's men which riot and cause revolutions. It's men which can fight. It's men which can really make serious change. I mean, women can scream and complain, but they can be largely ignored. But when men start to riot, you have problems. So how do you avoid that? Well, you make sure the men don't have enough will or enough gumption to put up to resist the absolute shit show they're being forced to put up with. Because the truth is, life for 99% of men in the Western world is awful. And most of them know it, and most of them feel it. And still they will continue to pay their taxes and go to their job and sit inside of their sexless marriage because they've lost their will to resist. And this is done very specifically. This is done on purpose. It's not an accident. Because otherwise people would stand up and say, wait. What? The price of everything's doubled in the last 10 years. My wages are the same. What's going on? But no one does. So it's a very conscious effort to damage the psyche and the fighting spirit of masculine men. Absolutely. You should never allow yourself to be in an unhappy relationship with one woman or 10 women. Yeah. Doesn't matter how many there are. It matters about, are you getting value from the relationship? A lot of men, I feel like, aren't respected in their relationships. And I think respect is the key component of life as a man. If you don't feel respected, you don't feel like a man. The feeling respected and feeling like a man are basically the same thing. If you look at how it works. Oh, people respect him. Why? He's big, he's strong, he's rich, he's successful. He feels like a man. It's respect. If your woman is constantly disrespecting you, then I don't think you should be married to her. And if you have 10 women who disrespect you, I don't think you should be with any of them. So it's not about numbers. It's not about numbers. It's about value. You're giving value. You need to receive value. And, we can go down the whole gender role path and blah, 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 and how it's changed in the West, et cetera, et cetera. But I truly think you need to sit there and go, okay, what would I like from a relationship? And am I providing enough for her for me to get it? You have to understand that, firstly, arguing on the internet is basically always a waste of time. So that's the first thing. Second thing is that there's a really good saying. I know it's kind of cliche, but they say it a lot. Hate never comes from above. Right. And it's so absolutely true. Yep. And if hate ever does come from above, it's fantastic promotion. So if hate comes from above, it's a good thing. And if hate comes from below, it doesn't fucking matter. Yeah. For someone's opinion to bother you, you have to respect that person's opinion. So if you ever find yourself annoyed by something someone said, you have to ask yourself, why do I respect this person? Now, why would you respect a sin?
Right. Money, women, cars, that's not going to do it for you ever, ever, ever. It's going to be you meeting the expectation you have for yourself as a man. So you envision this man that you're going to become. And I think most people do that from an early age. They see something they want, an avatar, something they want to do, and they want to go become that person. And I believe the formula for happiness and fulfillment is the gap between your expectation of who you become and your reality. And so a lot of guys are not meeting that expectation for themselves. And I think it's harder and harder to do that, particularly in a world where we've gone off the gold standard. A man can't just have a job and support a family and be the man of the house anymore. And I think that's one of the biggest issues with families now. A woman can put her ass on Instagram and make more money than the man that built the road to get to where we're going. I think that's a big issue with society. And I think that's men's fault. I think this whole thing is actually the fault of weak men. I believe the more strong men we build in this world, the better for men, and as a result, the better for women. Men have to understand that life is going to be difficult. Yep. They're going to have to fight their ass off to get in a position to be able to find a partner that looks up to them, respects them, they can lead a family and feel fulfillment in being the leader of that family. I think that's very natural for every man to want to be the leader of the household. I believe there's a really important part of the male and female dynamic where you get to be the hero. You get to be the one saving the day. You get to be the one solving all the problems, especially in a world full of men that are very feminized. Not to say that you are, but I believe that men are more feminized now than they've ever been. And in the counter opposite direction with the female, like let's say feminism, women are going in the direction of more masculinity. Men are being more feminine and women are like, where are the men? I think men want to be appreciated. I really do. I think it's their job to go earn that appreciation. And I think women want to feel protected and loved and cared for fully. And they want to know that they have a position with that man where he is going to take care of them forever.
Go do things. Go do things. Start lifting weights. Learn how to deadlift. Learn how to squat.
Yep.
That's part about being a man, right?
Sure. Physically strong.
Yeah, physically strong. Learn some jiu-jitsu. I recommend that. Probably could have guessed that one.
Yeah.
Learning how to fight. Learning how to defend yourself. I just got asked this the other day. A kid came up to me. He's like, what should I do if I get intimidated by other people and I don't know how to react when people like get in my face? And I said, do you train jiu-jitsu? No. Start training jiu-jitsu. Mm-hmm. But then what? I'm going to fight everyone? No. You don't have to, because you already know you can beat them up.
Right.
Now, if they attack you, yeah, you can beat them up. Mm. But if they are just getting in your face and trying to punk you, and you look at them and go, hey, if you want to do this, let's do this, but I don't care.
Yeah.
I know you can come to my gym. I'll choke you out. Mm. Train some jiu-jitsu. So we got that one. Run, hike, sprint, climb, build things. Start building things. Rewire things. Do some plumbing. These things are not, they're not impossible to do. It's not impossible to do. Mm-hmm. And it'll take you more time, but you're learning how to do it. And that gives you, what does that give you? It gives you the self-reliance. Read, right? Read about history. Read about survival. Read about the world. Read about human beings under duress. Mm-hmm. Read books. Good books. About good stuff. About challenges. With time, your confidence is going to grow. And from humility, you'll grow into being more confident. Now, you also say you don't have any mentors or role models around you. That's okay, because those mentors and role models are in books, and you can find them. I just talked about David Hackworth. Good mentor to have. Imagine you can have a guy wrote you a 1,000-page book on how to lead. Mm-hmm. And it's for you. People that can be virtual mentors. So read, study, do.
What we practice, we get good at. So for many people, the first thing they do in the morning is that they practice stress. They get up, whether it's the news or emails or social media, in what I consider to be a very important time of the day, they allow the environment to start conditioning their mind, and then that conditions their body. Certainly that's the way I see it. And in a view of what we've been talking about so far, of course, we've mentioned addictions, which are rife these days. How important to you is the first part of the day when someone has woken up? Is that a critical part of the day where people have to be very intentional, or can they do some of the work that you promote later on? Or do you think first thing in the morning is a very important part of the day?
People have habits of what they focus on, and those habits become your biochemical habits as well. And so they reinforce each other. It's not a one-way street. So that's why, I really believe exercise is one of the most important elements, pushing someone beyond their normal comfort zones physiologically, while you simultaneously are working on their head, creating something. So you need strong physiology. You need a really clear focus, because you're only experiencing what you focus on. The human brain is a distortion, deletion, and generalization device. Your conscious mind can only handle so many things at once. You're not thinking about your clothing touching your skin, or the sound of your heartbeat till I mention it, or let's say the sound of in your ear of being able to hear that heartbeat. All those things I have to call your attention to, because your brain is deleting most of what's going on, so it's not overwhelmed consciously. So we pay attention to a small amount of things. So if you're really happy, you're deleting all the things that could piss you off or make you worried. If you're really worried, you're deleting all the things you could be grateful or happy about. So, and we tend to generalize our lives because we're cognitive misers. We don't want to think things through. So if you have strong physiology, strong focus, then the third piece is meaning is what creates emotion. Like if somebody says something and you go, they're disrespecting me, or they're challenging me, or they're coaching me, or they're loving me. Well, whichever word you select for those sensations in your body, your biochemistry becomes.